Hello, the following podcast is spoken in a mixed language of both English and Spanish, also known as Spanglish, because that is our main way of talking and it's the best way for us to express our thoughts on the topics that we speak of. Which, by the way, we are in no way any experts on the subjects, despite having the internet in front of us while we record, which you will hear us use on occasion for live fact-checking every once in a while. Most, if not all, we talk about is from general personal experience. Also, we needed a buffer to get past the algorithm censors on certain platforms. Enjoy.
Este podcast es traído a ustedes en parte por ustedes mismos. Encontraron este podcast, no sé cómo ni dónde porque no se lo hemos dicho a nadie. Pero estás escuchándolo esto antes de que empiece el episodio. Porque nos gusta el sonido de nuestra voz, I guess, no sé, you figure it out. De nuevo, felicidades, date una mano, but just one. Okay, can you see your squiggly lines?
No.
That was just a block of. That wasn't even a squiggly line. That was just sólido bloque.
No, I'm dead. I am flatline dead. Am I showing? Okay, no, you said I was a block. Never mind.
No, I can see your squiggly lines going en ambas direcciones.
We'll never get this thing straight. This is going to be the running gag for as long as we use this service.
Oh, bien cabrón. This will be the thing they go, okay, remember when we recorded these remotely? You go, okay, yeah, Zencaster, seriously, fix your shit.
Why am I either pixelated or straight up dead every time we record?
And again, I think it's like one time out you were it was pixelated for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Y me vine a dar cuenta like halfway through the recording.
But it's like, no, it's consistent on my side. It's been consistent. I wonder if it's the browser. Next time I'm using Chrome.
Pero yo estoy usando Edge y me funciona perfectamente bien.
I'm using Edge and I'm dead.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
But as long as I'm showing up correct on your end, I guess it's fine.
Sí, no, you're showing up y me está saliendo como que, oh, el logo backup y el cloud backup está backing up for the most part de esto. Lo único que nunca he podido descifrar es donde dice storage, siempre dice unknown, so I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to do, but again, that's not new. That's always been there. So, anyway. Fuck it, whatever.
Anyways.
I did that on the mic on purpose.
Anyways, I'm waiting for you to goddamn say the goddamn intro, you fucking asshole. Go!
Welcome to Bichin Boricuas. Today, it's a very special episode. We're gonna bitch about the fucking PlayStation. Not just the PS1, 2, 3, 4, the Vita, and my beloved PSP, and the PSX that doesn't fucking count.
And the PSTV.
Right, that was a thing. For all of you who were like, hey, you bitch about the Xbox, all one of you that came to me and told me, hey, when are you going to bitch about the PlayStation? Just plenty to bitch about. It's like, listen, we'll get to it. Here you go. This is for you. You know
how many months later? 3 months later, because I think this episode will premiere in July.
Who cares? The PlayStation, Sony of Japan, released in 2000. 2000?
Was it 2000?
No, that was 1994. 2000 fue PlayStation 2. Oh, no, okay, no. The original PlayStation released in 1994. The PS1 released in 2000, which was the skinny little tiny ass motherfucker. Porque Sony de repente encontró como que, hey, we can make curves. People like curves. And then they're like, no, people didn't like curves. So we're making a giant ass rectangle, a black rectangle. That's going to be the PS2. Released in the year 2000. And that's when shit started. PS1, great. French kiss, no notes.
I remember I wanted to get a PlayStation 1. And it's like we're gonna get it. It's like years after we got the Nintendo 64, because me and my family have always been like a generation or two behind when it comes to technology. So it's like, finally, the PlayStation 2 is coming out, meaning we can afford the PlayStation 1. Hooray! We can get a PlayStation 1 and be like everyone else. And family surprised us, and they got us a PlayStation 2 release one, like Model 1, and we had Sly Cooper and Kingdom Hearts as our first games on that machine.
And the good thing about the PS2, it can play all the PS1 games. Excepto creo que like 2 o 3 juegos. I like there were like their weird exception que es como que they fucking los programaron como que, oh, Sony wants us to do A, we're gonna do C because fuck it. Again, PS1, French kiss, no notes, al punto de que they even realized, man, joysticks, we should add some joysticks. So they re-released the controller to add joysticks. Because I don't know if you remember, the original PlayStation controller didn't have any joysticks.
I just told you I never had a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation original.
So I'm fucking telling you, the original PlayStation, no joysticks. Just call the controller. It wasn't even a DualShock. That came afterwards.
It's called the gamepad back then.
I don't think it was called the gamepad. Whatever the fuck it was called. It doesn't matter. They released the DualSense. That's the PS5 one. The DualShock. And they're like, look, it vibrates. It has two joysticks. We also added an analog button because some games are weird.
Did they have bumper controllers back then? Yes. No.
They have shoulders, pero
shoulder buttons. That's what they're called. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but the PS1 and PS2 shoulder buttons were on off. They weren't what's the word I'm looking for? No eran.
I know que no tienen range.
No tienen range. A diferencia de the face buttons, those had range. Those could tell how hard you were pressing on them.
Seriously?
Yes, and you know how you know this? Because there were only 2 games that did anything with that, and they were both called Gran Turismo.
Of course.
And the only way you can tell era cuando tú mirabas el input de como que, oh, how much throttle are you fitting into the car? Oh, you can go basically full half throttle and like no throttle at all. But yes, no, the face buttons for the PS1 and PS2 DualShock controllers were fucking pressure sensitive. No one fucking used them because everybody just smashed triangle. I'm looking at you, Kingdom Hearts 2. Fucking hell. You had too many triangles. Again, PS2.
But QTEs were hit back then. But problem is, they wanted to do QTE with just one button.
No, again, God of War did it okay. QTE, they go circle, square, X.
No, it was always circle. It was always circle for everything.
Wasn't always circle. Habían ocasiones que usaba el square and sometimes the X, and on the rare occasion when they really wanted to fuck you, they used the triangle button. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is like, okay, hey, press X all the time, and then press triangle, and then press triangle again, and then repeatedly press triangle to stop the laser source, because let's be honest, the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 is just a fucking Star Wars movie.
Didn't Kingdom Hearts 2 have the whole quick time event of you versus 1000 Heartless? And that was essentially triangle everything?
I mean, it was technically 1000 Heartless, not really. But yes, that happened in Kingdom Hearts 2. And then, but entonces, no, I'm talking about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 2, which is basically just fucking Star Wars.
It is.
Because again, the bad guy's just fighting you with 2 red lightsabers.
You're right. And this was before the Disney acquisition.
Okay?
No, never mind. This was before the Star Wars being acquisition by Disney.
Oh yeah. This was like, okay, oh, this is what Star Wars is gonna look like 10 years from now. Or was it 20? Like, when did Kingdom Hearts 2? I don't want to know. I don't want to know when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. I don't need to know that information. That just makes me feel... I'm looking at the fact that the PlayStation 2 was released in 2001, and it's already making me old.
I already knew that, but anyways. Yeah. But now that you're saying that... shoot, I forgot what we were just saying. But anyway, siguiendo.
Again, so PS2, double French kiss. Okay. Fucking no notes, great console. Don't know why the fuck it had an infrared reader, but it had an infrared reader or a meter.
Remotes. It had remotes because it was used as a DVD player. I used it as a DVD player with remotes.
with the actual remote.
I want to say I did have the actual remote at some point.
Because I
don't
used
know
it,
where the fuck it is, but I know I did.
yeah, because I used it for a DVD player for the longest fucking time, but I sure as fuck didn't use the remote. I just used the normal controller. And having fucking forbid if you press the circle button or watching a movie, and then it'll be like, okay, oh, let's just kick you back into the main console. Cool.
That reminds me, is the PlayStation 2 still considered the greatest console that has ever come out, the most successful console?
Listen, I don't. Okay, technically, no, it's the Wii.
Right. Okay.
But I don't count the Wii as a console. The Wii was a toy. So the greatest console in history is still the PlayStation 2. And if you listening to this have any problems with that, you can go to the dumpster at bichinboricuas.com.
Which we don't have yet.
We'll figure it out later. Not a problem. Entonces, then technically the PS3 came out, but we're not gonna talk about that now. The PSP, the greatest console that Sony never gave a shit about. Until the Vita came out, which is the greatest console they really never give a shit about.
Wait, you lost me. What was the other really? You lost me. I heard PSP and then you lost me after that.
Oh, the PS Vita.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which is the console they never really give a shit about.
How long did that last? 5 years? Less than that?
I mean, it's technically still around.
No, I thought they stopped servicing it.
No, but also they tried to like kill the store, and people bitched and moaned so much.
Right.
Okay, whatever.
Because I went on a mass buying spree on the PlayStation 3 when they did that.
Yeah, because they're like, we're killing the PS3 and the PS Vita store. I mean, they killed the PSP store a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah, yo como que, oh, we're just killing that, but again, that's not the point. Then comes the real bitching problem in this thing. Is the PS3. That motherfucker was big, heavy, loud. I wasn't really loud. It was hot. It was a hot ass motherfucker. And it played most PS2 games, and
the first models did.
Yeah, I'm getting there, motherfucker.
The less than 100 gigabyte memory ones. God, how much we've gone.
They were 20 gigabytes.
Like,
I
think there was an 8 one, I think.
No. The original they were originally two versions of the PS3. The 20 gigabyte one and the 60 gigabyte one. And if you bought the 20 gigabyte one, you were a poor ass motherfucker. Granted, they used fucking normal laptop hard drive, so there was no reason you could have just straight up be a bowler and buy a 500 gig one.
If the goddamn Sony software allowed it, though.
I don't remember if it allowed a 500. I know you could put a bigger one from the beginning.
But how big back in the day?
Yeah, but the thing is, like they weren't even the same fucking console. They were separate types of plastic. There are like 3 or 4 versions of the original PS3, and then they made like 3 or 4 different versions of the fucking PS3 Slim, and not to even count the stupidity that is the Super Slim.
Right. No, but the PS3 I was too late for. Like I said, I'm always too late for the party. So the PS3 I got was that we put on layaway on a Kmart. Was the 160 gigabyte one.
Which one?
Was that like the original cylindrical, not cylindrical one, oval one, curved one.
Yeah, no, I know, but the thing is, even that one, the 161, had multiple fucking versions. Cause I had the Peace Walker version. The one that came with Metal Gear Solid 4 Peace Walker.
Uh-huh.
That one was software backwards compatible.
No, mine was the okay, no more backwards compatibility, and fuck you nerds, whoever wanted the SD card slots in there one.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You got the third revision of the original PlayStation.
Right. I got that one.
Because mine still had the SD cards for whatever fucking reason. Because again, The
No,
original.
no. They weren't. Remember, they're not. No. Sony had their own shit. They weren't SD cards. They were
No.
memory stick Pro Duos.
Yeah, but they also had the SD cards.
Well, I imagine they did, but still,
Yeah,
memory stick Pro Duo for your
yeah.
PSP.
For like the PSP and their fucking cameras.
Did the PSP had cameras? Oh yeah, no. You're talking about the Sony cameras. Never mind. See,
No, the PSP had a camera.
mine doesn't.
No, not built in. You had to buy it. It was an add-on. You know that port on the top of the PSP? It had two little screw holes on the sides. Yeah, you can plug in a camera.
For what?
For like the one game in Japan that had a camera, because they're like, oh, the Game Boy had a camera. Why the fuck can the PSP have a camera?
I've never seen this shit. I want to look
Google
at
it, motherfucker.
PSP camera.
I always wanted one, and like the software had it built in.
The Ratchet and Clank one had it.
Yeah, but if you turn on a PSP now and it's in a relatively close to final software version, and you look at into photos in the photo section of the menu, there was a fucking camera icon. And like
oh god, I dove too deep. There was something else we forgot.
What?
The PlayStation phone.
I don't think I've gotten to that point yet in the story.
No, but you said we were mentioning all the consoles that ever came out. We forgot one, the PlayStation phone.
Touche. The PlayStation phone that they immediately fucking forgot about.
Anyway, siguiendo. While I go oodle at this.
Occasionally you can see one on eBay.
I am on eBay. I am the eBay.
Oh, I forgot the PSP Go, because they were technically...
Right, I remember the PSP Go.
There was technically 5 versions of the PSP.
The 1000, the 2000, the 3000, the Go, and the Vita.
No, the Street. The E1000.
I don't know.
That one, I don't think that one ever came in the US, but it had like more simplistic buttons in the bottom and a mono speaker.
Okay.
It was like it was basically, they made it as the cheapest version of that model ever could exist. Again, I don't think it ever came in the US, and the Vita had 2 models. The fancy ass OLED one, and then the one that everybody could afford, the LCD one.
Okay. I got nothing. So, you know your shit on that. I only got what did I do? Oh yeah, I got into the Honor Society and I was rewarded with the Star Wars PSP when it first came out. The Darth Vader one. And I still have it to this day in a fucking metal case that I bought for it.
My first
and
PSP
the screen is broken on it.
And my first PSP got stolen. Whoever has it, fuck you. And if I ever find you, I will throw you into the river.
Anyways, moving on before you keep making death threats on the internet.
Listen, that motherfucker knows what they did. So, this is the part where shit really starts with the PlayStation. The fucking PS3 was originally backwards compatible, but it was backwards compatible in the laziest way possible. Because Sony said, like, fuck it. The PS2 is so fucking cheap. All we have to do is just throw in a PS2 in there. Because that's how the original PS3 was backwards compatible. It literally had a second processor just to do the PS2 and PS1 emulation.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. I need to get off of the. I dove too deep into the goddamn PSP camera thing, and I.
No. Come back up.
No.
Close all those tabs.
Uh-huh.
Close all those tabs. Listen, again, the PSP camera, it was a novelty. No one in the US had it, I think. Like I think they technically released it with one game in the US. I know in Japan I believe you could buy it, just straight up buy it. In America you could only get it with a game. Or like a stupid game. And again, it was as far as I know, it looked horrible. It took horrible pictures, but it was technically it can point towards your face or towards the back of the PSP.
Yep, that's what it looks like. Pero sigue.
Cool. So it was basically the Game Boy Camera 2.0.
I guess.
It's basically the same fucking chassis, dog.
I mean, yes, but this is a camera made by Sony instead of, Nintendo third-party camera that did shit.
That took like 0.1 megapixel.
0.1 megapixel, fucking, what, 240p probably for the Nintendo one?
I think that might be too many pixels. But whatever. Punto es que they did backwards compatibility and then they started fucking with it. They started like, oh, we need to make the fucking PS3 cheaper because that motherfucker was $600 at the time, which I guess would be like $800 with inflation today.
There's a calculator for that, but I'm not going to go look for it.
I'm not either going to do it because what are we, a fucking informative podcast? No, motherfuckers. This is Bichin Boricuas, and I'm here to bitch about the fucking PS3. So they're like, okay, hey, we're going to take backwards compatibility, but not completely because we're going to start putting in some software compatibility that then they broke. They fucking broke it. My PS3, which is dead, not the point. The original PS3 which is dead. Not the point. You could be that one. You could play backwards compatibility some PS2 games. A lot of the PS1 games, yeah, those work for the most part. But some PS2 games worked, and then after like update, I don't know, I don't remember. It's probably like 3 or 4, like 3 point something or 4 point something. They completely fucking broke it, and they never went back. And I remember in the forums people bitching about it, and Sony being like, "Yeah, no, we're not even acknowledging this." Because I used to troll those fucking forums back in the day, dog, and they don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. No,
And then
don't.
they fucked
We know
the
this
store.
is going to be an ongoing theme of PlayStation not giving a fuck.
And then when the and then they sin contar con que la tienda originalmente was a fucking web browser that just gave you a zip file. You know, I don't think you remember that, but the original PlayStation 3 store was literally a web browser that they give you a zip file and you uncompressed it.
Nope, I don't remember that at
Oh,
all.
and you
I
couldn't do
all I know is that the UI, the fucking PlayStation store on the PlayStation 3 was an existential crisis, horrible to use and super laggy, even to this day, after all the updates they've done.
Because they fucked it. They fixed it. They made it wonderful. They made it probably one of the best fucking stores, which was inspired by the PSP when the PSP actually got a fucking store. And it's still fucking there, motherfucker. It's still there. If you go into a fucking PS3 game and you go into from the game to the store, it'll take you to the good ass fucking game PS3 store. But if you try to go normally, it'll take you to the audacity and monstrosity that they made trying to copy the PS4 store, which doesn't also fucking work, which is not the point of this part of this conversation.
Well, exactly. I mean, this particular conversation, we'll get there probably eventually because there's a lot to cover.
PS4, you go fucking sit in a corner and you wait your turn. I'm not done bitching about your older brother. Fucking hell. And then they fucking me perdí, que yo estaba diciendo.
They made about the store on the PlayStation.
They made it so that the fucking store could fucking work like an actual fucking store. Like they basically saw the iPhone and they're like, "Damn, we fucked up. We should make a fucking good store," and they did. And then they're like, "Oh, you know, it would be nice if I could download things in the background." And they're like, "Well, fine, motherfuckers. We'll let you download shit in the background." Because I'll be honest, dude, the PS3 that you can buy now with the latest firmware is not the same motherfucker that you could buy at the beginning. Like the OG PS3s, they sucked. They did not have anything even remotely as good as this. Also, why the fuck did the PS3 never get as many visualizers as the PSP? Like, the music visualizers in the PSP were creepy as fuck.
What are you talking about the visualizers? I don't think everyone knows what you're talking about.
Okay, when you play music on the PSP, you could put visualizers.
Right! That was the best feature.
Kids,
Ah.
kids back in the day, media players on your computer had this thing called visualizers, where they would do pretty much take you on an acid trip and with the rhythm of the music. You know that shit that Mouse and Marshmallow do in the background of a fucking song? Yeah, that your computer used to be able to do that. But then they took that away from you because
Not your computer. Not your computer. We're talking about the PSP. The PSP used to do that. It probably still does.
Oh no, the PSP still does it, and the PS3 still has it. But the PS4 and the the PS4 can't even play CDs. But that's another point.
Okay.
Pero, oh yeah, the PS4 doesn't play CDs, by the way.
I did not know that. I mean, it's not as bad as the Xbox. It's like, hey, I'm a Blu-ray player. Install the Blu-ray player app if you want to play this DVD. It's like, motherfucker, you should have this pre-installed already.
No, because Sony won't let them.
No, that también es verdad. That's right. Never mind. I forgot. In case you didn't know, Sony owns Blu-ray. So
they're in the consortium that owns Blu-ray. Es lo mismo que why you can't put in a Blu-ray drive on your PC and watch a movie. You need to buy a license to watch Blu-rays.
That explains that shit. That explains that. Because I've been wanting to put a Blu-ray player on my computer, but I go get. Why can't I find one?
Oh no, they exist. They're super fucking rare, and even if you do, you have to have like DVD, whatever the fuck, like Blu-ray, whatever. Like you need some other software or BLC. Just install BLC, and you can just to watch a movie. A diferencia de DVDs, where you can just plug in any DVD player, put in a DVD, and your Windows computer, at least until Windows 8, would just play it no problem. Pero ahora mismo, if you want to play a Blu-ray, no, in Windows 10 and 11, if you want to watch a DVD or a Blu-ray, you need to pay for like the driver from Microsoft.
Jesus Christ.
But again, if you install BLC, it'll just work.
Right. No, I used to burn DVDs back in the day and, restore
of your own content that you produce yourself, not pirated, motherfucker, right?
Yes. I mean,
okay,
let me finish a goddamn sentence, you asshole.
Never.
I used to restore home video VHSs as a side gig, as a hobby. And it's like, oh, Blu-rays are in fashion. Let me go restore these and put them in Blu-ray discs so people can have them and buy them. And, it's like pay a little extra for the Blu-ray. I couldn't find that shit. I could find empty Blu-ray disc cartridges, but I couldn't find a goddamn Blu-ray burner for shit. But then again, I lived in Puerto Rico at that time, so we couldn't get half the shit we ever wanted. But moving on.
I mean, I feel like if for like the longest fucking time, you couldn't straight up buy a Blu-ray drive for your computer. Like Sony fucking kept those because again, they couldn't make enough for the PS3. Like half the reason the Xbox didn't have a Blu-ray was A, because they didn't want to pay Sony, B, because literally that would have probably doubled the cost of the Xbox 360. No, like seriously, for like the longest fucking time, Sony had like when the PS3 was coming out, like the thing that limited the amount of PS3s they could make was just straight up the Blu-ray drive.
And that's why Xbox went with the HD DVD for the longest time.
No, it didn't go for the longest time. They lasted like a year, motherfucker.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever updated the Xbox 360 with the Blu-ray disc ever.
No, the Xbox 360 was born and died with a DVD drive. It wasn't
HD DVD drive.
No, it was a DVD drive.
Okay, go on.
You could get an external HD DVD drive.
But most games were HD DVDs.
Nope, they were DVDs.
En serio? Lord.
Yes. Okay. You could get an external DVD drive, an external HD DVD drive for the Xbox 360. that plugged into your USB to play movies. That's all you could do with it.
Yikes. Okay, I have a misconception of that.
Like
But wait,
the
my
game,
this is
like the no, lo que pasa es que eventually the games, eventually they managed to be able to make it so that it could read. I mean, it could always read. It was a problem that the cost of the disc was too high. A dual layer DVD. But I think like the biggest fucking version of the DVD for the Xbox 360 was like 9 gigs.
right.
Like
Well,
that was
Blu-rays were 50 gigs.
There were 25 one side, and then dual layers were 50,
Eh,
give or take. And but again, like the biggest DVD drive is the biggest DVD you can make in a in a place in an Xbox 360 was 9 point something gigs, like 8 point something, and that's why Skyrim is 9 gigs, because Bethesda was like, nope, this goes on one disc, and heaven forbid.
and then Final Fantasy, what was it? 13 came
Yeah,
out.
13 was like 2 or 3 discs.
I think it was 4 just for the Xbox.
I think it was 3, but it may have gotten to 4, and I don't know.
DLC content.
Yeah, no, but like the funny ass motherfucker one was Battlefield 3 came in 2 DVDs. One of them was the game. The other one was just the texture packs.
Lol.
And if you try to play it without installing the texture pack in the hard drive, it would be like ultra low quality.
Jesus Christ.
Like the barrel of your gun was like a fucking triangle shape.
Of course it was.
Fuck.
Anyways,
going, but
back
going
on track on Sony PlayStation.
Cool. So PlayStation never really had that problem, except for the fact that things took for fucking ever to install. I mean, at first you didn't have to install it. Then they're like, "Okay, fuck it, we're going to install the game." And then occasionally they will play you a little cartoon when they were installing and dumping multiple gigabytes of storage into your hard drive.
Mm.
Then Sony decided, oh shit, we need to start paying. We need to get a way to pay for this online infrastructure that we're definitely working on. And that's when PlayStation Plus came into being.
Okay.
And boy, did we not realize how good we had it back then. Because I don't know, motherfuckers, if you remember, but you didn't have to pay to play online. And boy, do I miss that.
I miss that too. I mean,
Like
Xbox was way ahead of the game with Xbox Live.
oh,
But
like
Sony back in PlayStation 3, it's like, you don't need to play. You don't need to pay to play online.
why would anybody? No, like Sony al principio estaba like, why would you want to play online? We have all these single player games.
También, they also that.
And then it's like, what's our best selling game? Call of Duty. Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Still $60 until the PlayStation 3 died.
I don't think you can you buy the first one digitally?
I don't know. I would have to go open up the PlayStation 3 and find out. And
I,
just loading the store will take the rest of this podcast.
and probably like 2 firmware updates.
Probably. But anyways, but it's like, oh, MotorStorm, that was my jam. Playing online, fuck yeah. So online playing was amazing, but Microsoft was making money off of it. And it's like introducing PlayStation Plus.
Oh, before I forgot, before PlayStation Plus, Sony was like, damn, we should copy the achievements. Let's do trophies.
And then it became the substandard system for every console, including PC. Though no reward system for them was ever made.
Unlike the Xbox, because you could get rewards for the Xbox achievement system, but then Microsoft abandoned it because they realized nobody gave a shit about.
I mean, if they offered better rewards, we would be motivated to play your games and buy them. Like, hey, give us like, I don't know, a $5 gift card and let us accumulate it for every time we get 100% completion.
I think they did that for like a test run for a while, and again, like people did not really give a shit about it. Like for a while, Sony was doing like Like they will give you a special variant of your avatar if you got enough trophies for a period of time.
Right, but that's it. Now they just kept it and do absolutely nothing except, let you brag to your friends. It's like, I did this. I managed to do this.
I got a higher number than you. Fuck you.
And which we still fight over. We have an ongoing WhatsApp chat just for we can keep track of that. And you're
Yeah,
number one, I think, still on the list.
I'm number one, and I haven't played anything on the PlayStation in almost 6 months because I haven't turned on my PlayStation in almost
I
6 months.
I haven't turned my PlayStation since Lego Star Wars came out, and I passed the game. It's like, okay, now I have to stop because I need to prepare because I want to stream myself getting to 100% just so I can see if I can get some extra money in this dying economy. And post being that the cancer episode will be out, it's like, oh yeah, post cancer. I had to lose my previous. I needed to lower my income in the same company because I couldn't do my previous job. So I lost 40% of my income. So whoopee.
America, fuck
Yep.
yeah.
Well, America and cancer. At least they were nice
America,
enough to. At least my employer offered me a position to
at
keep
least
working.
it didn't throw you in the fucking street.
Exactly. They offered me a position. Yeah, it's 40% less, but they kept my seniority with the company. So I had two immediate raises when I went back to work. So yeah, yay.
America, healthcare system. Not the point of this. Cool, we're going
Uh-huh.
back. Trophies, they were okay, but they were not mandatory for like the longest fucking time. And there are still some games that are essentially fucking impossible to get any trophies at, and it is
Yeah,
and
especially the ones that require you to kill a developer on the online games.
no, like I'm talking like the Pain. I don't know if you remember the game Pain.
It's ringing a bell somewhere, but I'll see
Like
it.
that was one of the first downloadable games, and like they updated that game for the longest fucking time. It was a physics score game. It's like you just threw a guy at a wall and see how much damage you can make and get the highest score. That shit for like that shit got it's probably one of the first games they got trophy. There was no I never once saw anybody that had a trophy about that. I'm sure they exist, but they're fucking weird ass motherfuckers. It fucking Resistance 2 was the one that broke me because they're like, oh, get 10,000 kills in ranked multiplayer. And the motherfuckers that kept making the lobbies kept fucking making the big ass map. So the game would constantly be waiting, like, oh, let's see if we get 60 players. There's barely 20 of us playing the game at this point before Sony shut down the servers. Because
I no, you reminded me of my biggest online gripe of the PlayStation 3 that I want to bitch about.
go ahead, my friend. The mic
Okay,
is yours.
okay, you just reminded me of this. So, Motorstorm Apocalypse.
Yes.
Okay, game was already delayed as it was due to because it was releasing the same week the catastrophic tsunami in Japan came out. It's like, we shouldn't release an apocalypse game in the middle of, a natural disaster, which
Even
is fine and
after
dead.
the giant earthquake and tsunamis that destroy a large portion of Japan, wasn't that the one that also destroyed the Fukushima plant, nuclear
Yeah,
power
that, the
plant?
very same one. The very same
Cool.
one.
So after basically our game became true, Sony's like, let's not talk about this for a while.
Yeah, and I think it took like 6 months or 8 months or something for them to finally secretly hush hush release it. I was hyped for that game. I had it on fucking GameStop pre-order. That's how long ago it was. But that's not the point of it. So the online system, I didn't discover this till much later. Usually, when you unlock something online, it's tied to your account, to your online account, so that hey, when you sign back in on maybe a different PlayStation or whatever, your rank is still saved. Correct?
Yes, normally the rank, your progress rank and whatever the fuck is normally saved in the cloud. And in any case, what they keep locally would be like your custom loadouts and shit like that. But that's easy for you to recreate.
Right, but at least it
But
would
like
be on the online.
your rank is saved in the cloud because that way people cannot edit the save files and cheat, right?
Right. So here's the thing. Motorstorm had a bunch of unlockable cars. Cool, very cool looking cars. It's a racing game, by the way. But it's like, okay. But the only way to unlock these cars was from playing online. That was strike number one. It's like, oh, I can't unlock them just doing all the challenges in the single player mode. I need to play online and do certain things online just to unlock the cars. And we're talking about maybe, I think it was like 3 cars per class, and there was like 8 classes. So 3 por 8, 24. We're talking about 20 some odd cars here that you could unlock, but you needed to play online. Okay, fine and dandy.
Wait, that's
I
the only way
did
to
them
unlock the fucking cars?
on Motorstorm Apocalypse. Yes. No way. You were stuck with the one car per class on single player. If you wanted all the other cards, you needed to play online or just buy the DLC. Here's the problem with it.
Oh, fuck me.
I know. That's bad as it is. But here's the thing. Motorstorm Apocalypse didn't have a cloud system on their online. Meaning, when my PS3 died and I reinstalled the game on a second one, I was thinking, oh, hopefully everything on my online thing was safe because, all the cars I unlocked and worked like a months for, I want to play them. And no, there is no online account. They were stuck. The cars you unlocked were locally.
They were locally saved, and
they were locally saved.
The progress was not kept in the cloud.
There was no cloud. Your online rank thing was gone. You were back to level 0, 1, never have completed a challenge in your life, despite having the trophies showing that you completed these challenges online.
Well,
it would give you the trophies. There was a cloud for the trophies inside the game, so you could show off, hey, I did this, I did that. To all the other players.
But you didn't have the fucking the car anymore.
The cars that were gone anymore. And guess what? I decided to reopen my PlayStation in 2020. When the online servers are dead. So there is no way for me to get those cars ever again. There are people who hand out their accounts so you can attach them on. You can add those profiles and accounts to your thing, to your PlayStation 3, just for Motorstorm Apocalypse. Just so that, hey, you can play Motorstorm Apocalypse, but you need to play with this online account so you can enjoy those cars on single player. People do that for that game. I hate it. It sucks. I just wish there was like, unlock all DLC, but guess what? What is it? Eidos, what they're called? They're gone. They're dead. That company's gone. No more Motorstorm.
Yeah, so because after Motorstorm for the PS4, they're like, we're gonna make a super hyper realistic car game by the same company that also has Gran Turismo. Guess which one of them got more love?
Yeah, and that company,
they were gone.
It's like that company died. No more Motorstorm. By the way, Motorstorm never got into the PlayStation 4.
No, there were 3 Motorstorms on the PS3 and then the PSP one.
Exactly, and that's it.
And I think there's technically one for the Vita, but it's more like a RC version of the game.
It came out for the PlayStation 3 too. I have it, but yes, that's the one. But it's like, no more Motorstorm. No way for me to unlock those cards. The game servers are dead. I just need to contact, if I really want to play with those cards, I need to go to the online forums, find someone giving out that account, and be able to play it. And hopefully Sony won't say a thing. Oh, too many people are signed into this one account simultaneously. Though I think the way it was done is like, okay, you would have the online account that would have the physical unlock, the data of your online unlock, so that you can play as your own profile and have those unlocks already on your account because they were saved locally. And locally saved things were accessible by any profile on your PlayStation 3.
Yeah, like I remember in college, some motherfucker was like, "Hey, do you want the Uncharted trophies?" I'm like, what do you mean? Say, "Oh, these files, you just load up the you just load up the like put these save files in a pen drive, put them in your PS3, and then just load these up, and like the game will give you the trophy."
Ah, God, those
Because
were
people
so,
used to
there were,
hack.
and then they fixed that, and now we can't do that anymore.
No,
So
you can still back up your save files, but now I think they're basically encrypted versus the way they were in the PS3 and the PSP. It's like, well, here's a folder, very clearly called PlayStation 2. PlayStation, no, like the PSP was all PS. They were all in the PSP folder. Then all the PS3 shit was in the PS3 folder. Because I remember you could keep all your PSP and PS3 shit in the same pen drive and just back them the fuck up. Also, the PS fucking 3 had a fucking backup utility, which was great, except it would take literally hours because it was copying and encrypting shit through fucking USB 2.0.
God.
And like backing up and saving up a 60 gigabyte PS3 could literally take you a day.
And this makes a great segue to PlayStation security issues.
Cool. In the great year of our Lord
2010.
2009? 10?
10.
What was it?
10. I was first year in college.
Cool. I remember I was in college. In the great year of our Lord 2010, one night, everybody was enjoying their PlayStations. Man, this episode is gonna be long. Because we're 45 minutes in and
We might do it as two-parter if we keep going.
cool. So, in a year of our Lord 2010, everybody was enjoying their PlayStations in like November, right?
I don't remember when because I had no goddamn snow to tell me what day it was. All I know, it was literally first semester of college.
Cool. I think it was November. Whatever. Point is, everybody was enjoying their PlayStations, and all of a sudden, the network's out. That's weird. Oh well, I'm sure it'll be a slow. It'll be something temporary. Like they're fixing it. Because I remember back then, it used to be like there was an update coming when you were kicked out of PlayStation Network. You were kicked out
Uh,
of PSN, and you would be like, "Oh, let me check," and then you would try to sign in a couple of minutes later, say, "Oh, there's an update," and like, "Okay, cool, I'll just download the update." And I remember being online, getting kicked from the PSN, and thinking, "Oh, there must be an update. I'll download it tomorrow." Turn off the PS4, the PS3, go to sleep, wake up, say, "Oh, let me check if there's an update." Weird. There's network problems. I'm sure it'll get resolved by tomorrow, by this afternoon. Went to college. Everybody's talking about it. It's like, weird. And then we start reading the reports. The PlayStation Network's down, and nobody can explain it. Worldwide, nothing makes sense. And then we slowly realize, it slowly dawns on everybody. Oh shit, they were hacked.
right.
Sony was
Not
hacked.
just exactly Sony was hacked full on.
No, but like like Sony was hacked, but specifically the PlayStation Network section was hacked. No, because
And
they were hacked.
bye bye all credit card information, by the way.
Yeah, no, because they were hacked twice, like in a short period of time. There was a PlayStation hack, which was specifically for the PlayStation, and then there was the
The Sony hack.
like a Sony hack. That's political reasons. This one was purely for monetary reason, and they stole credit cards. They were trying to like apparently people. I think they were trying to sign in and steal people's games. I don't know how far that got. But Sony, like the PlayStation Network was down for like what, like 100 and something days.
I don't think it was that long, but it felt like a month.
It was multiple months. It 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 killed fucking SOCOM. It killed multiple games. The only reason Uncharted, I think it was Uncharted 2 or 3, has local multiplayer was because they needed to keep working on the game, but they couldn't use online. So they had to make a LAN version of it.
I guess. Fair enough. But yeah, it's ridiculous. I
And
didn't
like,
use online much because I didn't have that many friends to play online, and all the ones who wanted to play online, it's like it's Call of Duty or nothing. I was a Battlefield person, so I had nobody to play, so I couldn't care less. But it sucked. It sucked for a while.
it sucked for a while, and then when they came back, they're like, "Listen, so here's the thing: we, if you had a credit card on the PlayStation on PSN, you should cancel that the fuck now. We are giving you credit marketing for like I think they gave it out for like a year if you requested it. For like the longest time, their website had a little. The PlayStation website had a little badge at the bottom that said like scanned by Nord or something for like today. They made everybody reset their passwords, and then they gave you to pick like 3 or 4 games.
Okay.
Yeah, like they gave away games for a while
Yeah, they
because
did. I remember they did give away games.
it was
That
like
reminds me. I need to buy. I need to install
it was like
the
Little Big
PlayStation
Planet
games.
1, the first Infamous, Dead Nation, and like something something something. There were a couple of
Right.
games, and everybody was like, okay, "Oh, cool, free games, whatever." Uh, and then everybody forgot about it, and everybody lived happily ever after. Nobody ever came back to bitch about this. To today, Sony, we remember, we don't forget, we are Legion.
Okay. Moving on, but other things wrong with their security is their their fucking, what do you call it, their agreement as to reason to why when the PS4 eventually came out, why is crossplay not available on the goddamn PlayStation while
No, no,
Xbox and Nintendo are having fun together playing Minecraft? Why can't we join that? It's like,
no, like
oh,
you're skipping something else. Then there was the part where they realized, oh, people are just sharing accounts. Like
uh-huh.
really need no, like they're using like like you used to be able to have like 6 or 7 PlayStation 3 signed into your account, and they could all play the games at the same time. Then they limited to like 3 or 4, and they also limited the PSP and the PS Vitas at the time. So like, nope, you can only have 2 PSPs or 2 PS 2. You can only have 2 portable consoles. So you could, and that includes the PSP and the PS Vitas. And again, we're not really gonna talk about the PSP and the PS Vitas because listen, they were great consoles. Sony killed them because they didn't understand how to make a portable shit. Because Sony still thinks their fucking proprietary media is the way to go. Sony, it's called an SD card. Fucking look it up.
He had it installed on previous consoles.
You knew what it was. You used it. Hell, I have cameras. I have some of your cameras that use it.
My camera to record my Lego time lapses are done with a Sony camera.
And what did they use? A micro SD card, right?
Yes, I'm trying to remember. If it's an SD card or one of those adapters of a micro SD within an SD card slot.
Okay, cool, but it's the same shit. It's a micro
Exactly,
SD
it's the
card and
same
SD
shit.
card. It's not a Sony standard. That's my point.
Right.
Because again, I have a Sony camcorder, and it has the slot for the memory for like the other memory card that they started using after the memory stick duos that nobody fucking used, and like an SD card, a
I
micro.
did. Fuck you. I did a memory stick Pro Duos. I have 3 of them that I'll see here.
Cool, and I have 2 fucking whatever the fuck they're called for the PS Vita that are only used for the PS Vita, and they were only released in like very limited amounts in the US, and I had to pay to get a fucking 64 gig one up the fucking ass.
Just moving on.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, you couldn't have multiple accounts. You couldn't fucking I mean you could have multiple accounts. You have to set a primary PlayStation and a second, and then everyone else was a secondary one, and and those secondary ones had to be online to play the games. And like Sony would be like, this account signed in too many places. Can't have that, dog, because people are fucking sharing accounts. And yeah, there was the soft story like, oh, my kid's off to college and he took his PlayStation and I have a PlayStation and we try to and we only buy one copy of the game and then we share it in the PlayStation, blah 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 blah. No, motherfuckers. That's not the problem. The problem was the motherfuckers that were constantly buying one copy of a game and putting it in fucking five PS3s.
Yeah, I remember that issue.
Those were the motherfuckers that ruined everything for everyone else.
Right.
Point being, then comes the fucking. I think I'm done with the PS3. Are you done with the PS3?
I'm thinking. I might come back to it, but I think yes. I feel like
Okay.
I'm missing something, but yeah, no, we're done. I mean,
Oh,
we
I
can.
remember. I remember. Was one other thing about the PS3. Sony, why the fuck can I not turn off HDCPT or whatever the fuck it's
That's
called?
what I wanted to talk about. The
Why the
goddamn
fuck
security
does the
issue.
PS3 still have that enabled to in the year of our Lord 2020?
And it's still a thing. It's not removable on the PlayStation 3. It sucks. I have analog cables connected and S video cables connected to my PS3 to the old Elgato one that I got just so I can stream PS3 crap.
Oh yeah, I got the PS3.
Sucks.
Oh, that was another thing, motherfucker. They took away the optical board on the PS. I think the Slims or like the Super Slims. And like, I love that thing, man. That was the best way to get the audio out of the fucking PS3 because guess what? You couldn't fucking use USB ports for audio, unlike the Xbox. And they didn't have headphone jacks in the controllers, unlike the Xbox. And you
Right.
couldn't do party chat outside of a game, unlike the Xbox, because the PS3 was constantly short on fucking RAM.
God. But it sucks to this day that I can't stream. The only way to stream HD PS3 is via emulators, but it's like I refuse to do it because I have a perfectly working PS3 and a shit
No,
ton of PS3 games that I want to play, and I want to stream them, but I need to use the goddamn analog and S video
no,
ports.
there's HTPC strippers. Like they're a thing. They just introduce I think they just introduce a little bit more lag, but they're a thing. You can buy them. They're just not. They're you just they don't advertise on Amazon because obviously they're like, hey, if you're buying this, chances are you're pirating, but we're going to not ask.
Right, but it's I just want to stream PS3 games because I have like 30 PS3 games that I never got a chance to play. And guess what? Might as well try to make some cash off of it, just streaming and sharing it. That's all I want to do. And guess what? Segueing to the goddamn PlayStation 4, that thing is still a thing. At least now it's a goddamn, what do you call it? A tab, a square that you can check mark on and off. A toggle. That's what it is. It's a toggle now. Because you remember when we were trying to calibrate my PS4 to work? It just kept sending a weird signal, but then the Nintendo Switch worked just fine. It wasn't the cable. It wasn't the multiple USBs extensions cursing that. No, I found out I had the HDCP on the PlayStation 4. Turned it off, works perfectly again.
Yay! So the PS4, it was released on. Let me look at my article because I got bored and started sifting through the shit because they put the PS mobile consoles later. 2000, February 20, 2013. God, I'm old. Fuck. So the PS4, big ass, at least a. How would you describe the shape of the original PS4?
I'm trying to remember the original shape of the PS4 because we bought the Darth Vader one when it came out with Battlefront.
I mean,
That's the one we
it's
bought.
a box. It's a rectangle box, slightly edged to the side. But again, it's flat on the top, unlike the fucking PS3 that they were all fucking airplane wings.
Gen 1 PS. I've literally, legitimately forgot Gen 1 PS4. I legitimately forgot how it looked like because I've been staring at mine for. Right! The
It's basically
dagger.
it's basically the same shit.
The edge. The edgy
But
PlayStation.
they
Okay.
had the LED light, and then they never used it again.
Well, except for the PlayStation 5 that has it again, kind of.
Yeah, but no, but the original PS4 had it, and then for the PS for like the Slims and the Pros, they just the button has the LED light. It's like, yeah, but this sort of defeats the purpose of the LED light. And they're like, yeah, cool, we don't care, whatever. PS4 again, they released it, everybody loved it. They made the infamous "This is how you share a PS4 game."
Because the Xbox One conference, oof.
That was TV, online requirements, TV, and the
No, no,
PS4.
no, no. Not only online requirements, but the Connect requirements as well.
Oh, también, sí. Oh, we forgot. There was technically a camera for the PS3. Nobody used it. I think
Because they tried to imitate the Wii with motion controllers.
fuck, we forgot about the motion controls. No, that came after. No. They made the camera. Like 4 years later, they made the Wii. They tried to imitate the Wii when Microsoft did the Kinect, and that was like the weirdest hacky ass shit. That they still use those fucking move controllers for the PSVR. I don't know why the fuck. Like they made improved versions of those controllers years later, and they never fucking released them.
Moving on, we're in the PlayStation 4.
Great operating system. French kiss. Had a headphone jack. Again, French kiss. They basically fixed 90% of the problems with the PlayStation. Except that this with the PlayStation 3 operating system, except that this time you needed to pay online to play games. You need to pay for PlayStation Plus to play online games. Cool, whatever.
And
here's the problem. Here's where the shit really starts. You know how much backwards compatibility the PS4 has? 0.
Right. No, but that's not the only thing. It's like, oh, we're testing the game on our closest audience, which is, California. Guess what? Not everyone lives in California. There are people who live in the goddamn mountains with no internet connection, or on islands forgotten by their own mainland politics, with internet that is the fastest internet you could get was 5 megabits a second, still to this day most of the time.
I mean, the telephone company would only give me like fucking 8 megabytes in my apartment.
No, they would charge you for 8 megabit or something like that, and it's like, you would get maybe 100 kilobytes of downloads.
They were charging me for 8 megabytes, almost $60, and they're like, "Oh, can I get something faster?" And they're like, "Ha, no." And then the cable company's like, "We'll give you 30 megabytes for like $40."
And you would still have a download speed of 100 kilobytes.
No, it's still pretty fucking good.
Well, now, but I'm talking back then. It's like,
back then it's like, okay, oh, what's the fastest internet in the island? Maybe like 10 megabytes some places.
10 megabytes, but it would still like be throttled to like 100 kilobytes. I remember that was an issue. It's like, my mom is paying for 5 megabit. It's like, we should have extremely fast internet back then in the day. And it's like, all right, PS3, PS4, download this game. It'll take 2 days because your download speed is 100 kilobytes a second. Maybe.
If you're lucky.
Pero siguiendo, PlayStation 4.
Cool. Able to download multiple things, could download things in the background, blah, 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 blah. Again, fucking backwards compatibility. What the fuck, Sony? Why the fuck can I not play fucking my PS3 games? Not even the physical ones. Fucking hell, hay alguien en el pasillo. Me cago en la madre. Not even the fucking PS, like the physical disc. No. The fucking digital ones. They're like, nope, these are gone. They are locked forever, lost to time. But we'll remaster them.
We'll remaster them, and you have to pay almost full price for them.
Almost full price, and then occasionally they'll be like, "Oh, we're re-releasing the PS2 version of a game on the PS3, on the PS4 with trophies." Yay!
Yeah, but you're still asking for full price. Well, Xbox, it's like, hey, I have this OG Xbox game. Can I put it on my Xbox One? Absolutely. We have the software for it. Download and keep playing as long as you have the disc to show you have the license. That's all you had to do. That's
I
all
mean,
you
I
needed to
mean,
do.
granted, they did that after they started losing to the PS4 because again, the Xbox One was a disaster at launch. But
Right. But still, to this day, even on the new Series X and the Series S, you know, hey, I have this old 360 game. Can I put it on the Series X and play my game? Absolutely.
oh
I
yeah,
think
I have
it's like,
Oblivion on the Xbox, and it's like okay, oh, for the Xbox 360, and it works perfectly fine on the Series X.
I don't have to pay extra. I just showed up that I have my license on it, and I can play the game again. And it's probably even streamable because now it's on a new console. So
Oh yeah,
yay, awesome! PlayStation. When will you do that? No, buy your game. At least it's not. I'm not sure who does it worse, Nintendo or PlayStation, when you want to play old games again. Who
I mean,
charges more?
at least Nintendo has the fucking audacity to change the format. But
I,
again, like the Wii could play fucking GameCube games for like
right,
the longest fucking time. Like it had the fucking drive and the port and the memory cards.
right. No, but I'm talking about like in the Switch and the Wii U that it's like, oh, you want like the whole controversy. It's like, oh, I want to play Mario Sunshine again. Pay $60 for Mario Sunshine on the Switch when
And but that oh and but we'll only do that for a limited time and then we're taking it away because
right
scarcity is the
name of the game.
so whatever. But again, Sony,
Uh,
seriously, why the fuck can I not play my PS3 games? I'm okay with my PS not being able to play my PS2 games. I think it's a little ridiculous at this point that I can't play my PS1 games, especially the digital ones that I paid that I can play on my PS3 and my PSP and my PS Vita, but I can't play them on my PS4 or my PS5 that I do not have because the PS5 is vaporware and it doesn't exist.
but they literally, I think it was this week, they offered a solution to this, and we're not sure if it's an actual good long term solution or not.
Oh, they're being like, okay, hey, if you pay extra, we'll allow you to stream fucking our PS1 games. And like, you're just being dicks about it now, motherfuckers.
Exactly. It's like, and it's like not every internet is as equal as the goddamn what gigabit internet you have on your testing facility. Not everyone has access to that, you morons. You have to compensate and lower that for everywhere else on earth if you're trying to sell this. Not only that, the prices on these things. So here's what they did. They announced it's like, oh, we're gonna have our own little quote unquote Game Pass without calling it a Game Pass like Xbox does, and let you have access to a giant catalog of all games. No, first that was a weird part. It's like I access our catalogs of games, cool, but there are two different catalogs. There's here's a giant catalog of playable PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games that you can play on under this subscription or pay even more and we'll give you the classic game catalog so you can play PlayStation 1 through 3 games, and it's not going to be all of them. It's just the ones where that were on PlayStation, the old PlayStation Now catalog. Which is still suck because that required you to stream the game, not download them and have them physically on your console to not have any issues with.
Yeah, no, it's just they saw the idea that Microsoft had of becoming the Netflix for games, and
Uh,
they're like, what if we do that, but stupidly Japan?
Not only stupidly Japan, but more stupidly expensive because the basic PlayStation Plus plan is still only $60, and for you to access $60 a year, by the way, and for you to access the both the classics catalog and the the full catalog and the classics catalog, which by the way, we don't even know what's in there. Like, are you gonna offer like first party games for us to play? Like, God of War and I don't know, Horizon Zero Dawn and all that
Oh,
as part of your catalog, it's like, okay, you want that plus the classic catalog? That is $100 a year, I think. Let me
I
double
mean,
check that.
that just reminds me. They added eventually in the PS3 era. They made a website so you can go in and buy games without having to turn on your PS3. Not to mention that for like the longest fucking time, and I think it's still like this in the PS3. If you want automatic updates, so the PS3 turns itself on, checks for updates, and downloads and installs them, you need to pay for PlayStation Plus. That was one of the fucking things they were advertising. Besides the point, and I think in the I don't know if they made that in the PS4, but I think it is. But like they removed PS3 and PSP from the web store, and now if you try to go to the web store, it's to the PlayStation Plus section. Ever since they announced they added this new tiers of PlayStation Plus, like the section of the store is just straight up broken. Like if you go there and I tell it like, hey, show me the PlayStation Plus games, and it's like, okay, which, and then it just takes me to the country selection screen. It's like, okay, US. It's like, okay, here's PlayStation.com. Also the store, not the PlayStation.com website.
No, it's much worse. It's much worse. Much worse than I thought. I found the payment plans.
Oh, goody.
Hey everyone, this is Tony interjecting here for just one quick second. As you might hear me or have heard that I'm ranting about the prices of PSN. Yeah, I comparing it to Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah, I thought I was paying $80 a year for Game Pass Ultimate. Turns out I'm not, because it turns out that they removed the 12-month plan years ago, a while back. And what I had been paying was just the normal Game Pass that I later upgraded for Game Pass Ultimate, and now I'm paying like $14 a month for. So now I am paying more for what it actually costs for the Ultimate PSN network. So, oops, my bad. Can't re-edit that, can't re-record the episode, so I'm just here to do the clarification and admit my wrongdoing, my wrong saying in the episode. That's all. Back to the episode and us ranting into the void. So, we have PlayStation Plus Essential, which is the $60. You get to choose 3 to 5 free games monthly that they offer you, and you can play online. Cool. And
So
cloud storage.
that's basically the normal PlayStation Plus we've
Right.
had for the last couple of
Right,
years.
I know, pero es como que el Game Pass Gold ahora mismo que te deja acceso, a EA Play, al full acceso a Game Pass both on console and PC and everything else. That's like $70. I'm getting a way deal out of that. While the Essential is still $60. They didn't bother lowering the price because for you to get the Plus Extra, which adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, that is $100 a year. Eso
So
nada más.
per account, I'm guessing.
Per account.
Yeah, 'cause I'm guessing that's not something you could share with your family members if you have any.
Right, no. It's like, that's $100 a year. $14.99 monthly. But if you want, if you get the PlayStation Plus Premium, which above the 400 games for PS4 and PS5, you get an additional 340 games from the PS3 via cloud streaming and beloved classics from original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP generation for both streaming and download. And it's like, you want all that? That is $120 a year. And $18 monthly. I find that stealing. It's like Game Pass is doing this for $80. As in Game Pass Gold, whatever. It's doing Ultra or whatever. I forgot.
Ultimate. It's Game Pass Ultimate.
Ultimate.
It's the one that gives you all the games. It gives you the Xbox catalog, the PC catalog, which are not the same catalog.
Right, but it still also gives you access to older games like Combat Evolved. I can play it from Game Pass.
Yeah, and EA Play.
and EA Play for $80 a year. While here, you're asking me $120 for somewhat similar, and we can't guarantee that the catalog will be good either once we get that. That I find that extremely overpriced. It's like, yeah, cool. You somehow somewhat solved your backwards compatibility issue that you've been avoiding for what, 10 years? Pero el costo es demasiado. Yo lo encuentro demasiado.
I mean, it's not even like actually solving it. You're just like going around in a circle. You're like, okay, well, we didn't fix it. We just give you another variant of it.
Right. And right now, even Nintendo entered the online market because you want PlayStation on Nintendo Online? $20 a year, you're done. Oh, you want access to all our games catalog from our previous consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and now Nintendo 64? Plus, free DLC for your games that you already have, like the new 40 some odd maps they added for Mario Kart. That's $60. I think it's $50 a year. Still a pretty good deal compared to this shit.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It just really. I wish they would have thought about it better. It's like lower the price of Essential to make, what's it called? PlayStation Plus Premium a lot more appetizing and much more affordable. But no, they're just like, oh, here's our solution to backwards compatibility, but you have to pay twice the price for it. Literally twice the price for it.
Sí, pero me imagino que no quisieron bajar el basic PlayStation Plus price because they're like people like me that bought 3 or 4 years in advance.
Right.
Because occasionally you can find a special it's like, oh, if you buy 2 years, they cost X amount less. And I'm like, sure, because I think I bought like 2 years for like $80.
Right. I still do the 1 year $60 plan, but I'm just now seeing it. That's not worth it compared with the new plans they're putting. It's like, I would love to use the PlayStation Plus Premium and, not have to keep going to the stores and buy copies of PS3 games and hopefully they work, or going through eBay and overpaying for classic games. I just find it's a lot pricier. It's too pricey.
I mean, overpay for classic games that are available digitally, but they just simply won't let you play them. Because let's be honest, they're available digitally. You could buy fucking original Xbox games on the Xbox Series X and play them digitally. But the PlayStation is like, nope. Anything that happened before the PS4 is dead, and we don't want to talk about it. I mean, for crying out loud, like the PS5 has backwards compatibility, but it's obviously an afterthought because it's in compatibility mode, and they're like very clear, and it very much looks like, oh man, Microsoft is really going into this backwards compatibility thing, and we're looking like the bad guy. We don't do this too.
You are the bad guy.
Yeah, but for like the longest time, it was like, oh look, you guys, Sony, they're letting you do this, they're letting you do that, and now it's like, hey Sony, so I think we're getting PS3 Sony and not PS2 and PS4 Sony again.
Right. And then last thing on the docket, that it will be a nice quick thing so we can finish this, unless you have more to bitch about so that we can continue on this probable episode 2 at this point. But the last thing I wanted to point out was their reasoning for no cross-platform playing. Crossover playing.
Oh, you mean the children?
Yeah. It's like, think of the children, because our agreement is like to keep children safe. Think of the children, and it's like Sony, it's like Xbox and Nintendo are being friends right now. They can play Rocket League and Minecraft together. Minecraft is one of the most successful children's games ever made, and you're not letting PlayStation players play with them. It's harmless. It's profitable. they're just making people wanting to buy Minecraft and Rocket League, despite them one of them being free at this point, I think. Um,
No, like
having
Rocket
to
League.
go buy a console and go play on their console because are not letting your children play with others.
I mean,
That
Rocket League, like very quickly after. Okay, let's be honest. The predecessor to Rocket League was a PlayStation 3 exclusive that nobody remembers,
right.
which was a supersonic
Rocket Ball, something like that.
supersonic rocket power, supersonic hypersonic rocket power battle car, something like that. I don't remember.
Uh,
And like nobody fucking remembers that game. But it's basically just Rocket League. Rocket League is just a slightly polished. It's just a considerably more polished version of that game with a better name that was released in everything. And then PlayStation Plus, like shortly after that game came out, it came out on PlayStation Plus, and for like the longest fucking time, that was the place where most people play Rocket League. And then Epic bought them because it's a fucking Unreal Engine game, and it just they've basically made. I don't know if it's free, but they've basically made it free. They practically give it away multiple times because they're like, look at all the DLC cards we have, yay! But yeah, they're like, okay, no, we don't want to share our consoles because
the
we don't
children.
think that the children will be safe. Weird, because the children seem to be safe on everything else, and we still keep finding anime tits and all your games, Sony.
Right.
Because there's anime tits in your fucking avatar section. There's a avatar icon section. There's the fucking anime tits in your wallpaper sections, in your theme section, in your store. There's like, okay, listen, there's plenty of not shall safe shit that you do not give a fuck about. And the only problem is here is that you don't want to play nice with Microsoft and Nintendo.
Right. You just don't want to. You're just being that overly safe parent to all your customers. It's like you're no fun. Eventually they gave in and Rocket League finally pulled that little switch they said they had. It's like
Oh,
literally I can give a call right now
you mean the
and
one they accidentally threw once before? And
yes,
they're like,
that one.
oops, our bad. We were testing something and we accidentally turned this on. Our bad. Sorry, Sony. This wasn't totally to just show you the code exists. You don't need to do anything on your end.
It's like we can do this whenever we want. We're just literally asking verbal permission from you that we may or may not follow. But I think now they did, but it's very strictly limited, kinda. On
It's basically on a per game basis. It's like, does this game have it? No. Or like sometimes it'll be like, oh, this game will have it in 6 months.
right, it's
Because that's
just
when
ridiculous.
Sony's like, okay, cool. Most people that were gonna buy it on our consoles to play with their friends bought it. We don't care anymore.
Right, como que Sony, you're working backwards. It's like no backwards compatibility, no cross. Why do you hate yourself? Why do you hate yourself and put that pressure on your customers? I was a big on Sony. Sony is the best console ever, and that's like ending PS4, coming up on PS5 era. You just realize how much of a fuck up. We all realize how much you fucked up, and it's like, yeah, no, Xbox is winning my heart now, and of course, PC gaming.
Cool. And then for the final part of our bitching episode,
I mean,
there
we
was
still haven't. We never discussed. This will probably have to be on another episode, but we never discussed. PlayStation TV, the PlayStation Home, the PlayStation Phone, and yeah, PlayStation Phone and Mag, and that's about it. But what do you want to say? What do you want to
so
end on?
the PS5 was technically released on November 12th, 2020.
Oh my
And I use
god!
the word released in the most liberal sense of the word,
The
release,
pandemic,
because there was something called COVID out there.
and we're censored. Yay! Anyways, That's a joke.
Whatever. At this point, listen, we're like an hour and 22 minutes into this shit. No sensors are gonna go into this point. They logged out 20 minutes ago.
Moving
So
on.
here's my problem with the PlayStation fucking 5. The physical hardware problem I specifically have. The PS2, PS1, memory cards, no problem. PS2, memory cards, no problem. Also had a hard drive slot. I think Final Fantasy and hackers were the only one that used it, so whatever. PS3, memory cards for backups, but an internal laptop hard drive that can be easily replaced and upgraded up to 500 gigabytes, which is the software limit. PS4, all versions of the PS4 had the same thing. You could back up to the cloud, to the memory card. Oh, that was the other thing. If you wanted fucking cloud saves, you needed PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some games in the PS3 that the only way for you to back them up was to the cloud.
Right.
Like Killzone 2, you couldn't back up to a pen drive. Like you needed to have for like the longest time, the only way for you to back up that game, and to this day, I think the only way for you to back up that game is to the cloud, to the PS Plus cloud. Not even through the game. It has to be like outside in the operating system. Back to the PlayStation hard drives. PS3, PS4, PS4 Slim, and PS4 Pro, or use a normal laptop hard drives, which were slow as fuck, but you could upgrade them and you could change them out whenever the fuck you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
PS5 has integrated into the motherfucking motherboard. They soldered the memory chips, the
Right, but
SSD memory chips.
they brought back the whole, oh, you can plug in memory card, as in like you
No,
needed to buy. They
no,
did.
they
They
added
did.
they added back the option to have a separate hard drive, an M.2 SSD, NVMe SSD as a second hard drive, but the main storage of the PS5 is still that internal memory.
Fair, but it's like, hey, there at least you could still expand the goddamn memory one way or another.
No, you can expand. Yeah, no, that's not the problem. And again, in the PS4, you could have an external hard drive, a USB 3 hard drive, and a PS5 lets you to do that too. And then
But
they added the SSD expansion, so you can play the PSEI Gen 4 expansion, so you can play more games instead of burning up your internal memory card. But the
right,
thing is, those internal chips that are soldered to the fucking board, those have an expiration date.
right. You were
Because
telling me about
because
this.
all memory eventually degrades, and those fucking things are going to start degrading. Not now, not next year, not in maybe in 5 years we're gonna start seeing this, but in 10 to 15 years, PS5s are gonna be dropping like flies, especially because they need to put in a bunch of fucking games. Take up what, 50 gigabytes now
Yep, on average.
on average, and then you're gonna play that for a while, you're gonna delete it, then you're gonna download another game, then you're gonna delete it, then you're gonna download another game, you're gonna delete that, and eventually that's gonna wear out those memory chips. And like the PS5 comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive, quote unquote. I think it's like 800 gigabytes are it's actually available.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to start getting smaller. In a couple of years, you're gonna start seeing people that look in, unless Sony really fucked up the OS, which I don't think they did, but you're gonna start seeing people that are gonna be like, oh, my PS5 only has 700 gigabytes of storage, because they have to start turning off cells inside of the fucking memory chips. Which again, OSSD storage does this. This is a normal thing that happens. It's called trimming in Windows. I don't know if in Apple computers is the same thing, but in Windows, this is a thing that happens. Your computer does it automatically. And again, normal use case, you'll never see this. If you copy and delete stuff constantly, large files, you're going to start seeing this, and it's going to start becoming a problem.
Right. No, I remember this, and it's like that's why a reason that I'm hoping that whenever they release the second gen of the PlayStation, because the first gen of PlayStation 5 already have some hardware issues aside from the the little memory problem. I'm hoping that maybe they could address it something on their second version with the very expecting slim version that always comes out. That's why I haven't bought it. But also the other reason I haven't bought one is because scalpers. Which, by
I
the way,
mean,
I found
again,
out people don't know what scalpers are. So that's a fun thing they now found out.
oh no,
2 years into Corona. But go on.
like at this point, I have to this day, I have not seen a PS5 for sale.
No, apparently, a friend of my brother told me that a friend of mine just happened to go to Best Buy just to go get something, and they just like pallet dropped. It's like freshly in new PS5s, and they were gone within that day, including that person. It's like I came here for a cable, I think, and he walked out with a PlayStation 5.
I mean,
It's
I'll
like,
be honest. If I walk into a Best Buy right now and they have PS5, I'll be like, well, I probably won't be able to eat for a month.
but at least I'll have one.
At least I have a PS5.
Exactly. Because I don't blame it, because if I walk to a store and see a PlayStation 5, like what happened to the Switch, because I got my Switch in the peak of that whole Doom and Animal Crossing hype. It's like I walked into Walmart trying to get some groceries, and they just freshly stocked it with new Switches, and it's like, and it wasn't the Switch Lights, the light ones, it was the OG one, clicky ones that goes to your TV. It's like, I'm gonna take a huge hit on my money right now, but god damn it, these things are hard to find. And my brother's graduating, so he needs to get. So I bought 2 Switches right there on the spot. And the guy told me, it's like, oh, you beat the guy that usually comes here every morning to pick these up. He usually
Yes, they
buys them
just
all
fucking
out.
scalps them.
Exactly. So it's like I bought them, and then I didn't see another Switch for months. I think now they're becoming. It's like everyone has a Switch. No more scalpers on it. But PlayStation, that's still an issue.
Oh no, like I could most if you give me a couple of hours, I can get you an Xbox One S, an Xbox Series S, an Xbox Series X, a Switch, a normal Switch, a Switch Lite, and a Switch Pro. Like you
OLED.
can find
OLED.
you can
Remember, the Pro doesn't exist yet. You're talking about
like
the
whatever
OLED.
the OLED one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like you
But
can
PlayStation,
like again you can find switches here.
right? But
Yeah, no, like
PlayStation,
I didn't talk about the PlayStation Pro because again that's like that basically came out. Fucking nerds give a shit about it, and then everyone else just forgot that it existed.
right? But yeah, no, I'm with you. It's like if I see a PlayStation 5, I might just take the hit and buy it on the spot. But I'm trying to hold out for the slim version that fixes most of its hardware issues, which
Yeah,
it might not, but and I doubt that they'll ever fix the whole SSD problem.
no,
I
they
very
won't.
much.
And like unless they dramatically re-engineer that shit, they're never gonna they're never gonna fix it. Unlike the Xbox, which they do the granted the memory card, the internal memory of the Xbox Series S and X is not user server fixable, but it's a fucking M.2 memory card, memory stick thingy, whatever, hard drive.
Meaning,
Like you can no, you can get in, you can change it.
right.
There isn't anything that's better. Like you could not put in a better hard drive.
I mean, literally, I showed you. I sent you the photo that the Xbox has. The Series X has that. Oh, we're working on memory cards again. Buy this $300 memory
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
card.
they have that. I'm just talking about the internal memory.
Right, the internal. Okay, gotcha.
Like the one that's inside the Xbox, like it's there. It's not user servable. Like you have to tear that thing apart for the most part. But it's replaceable. It's not soldered into the motherboard.
Right, fair enough.
Like
But
at
no,
this, like the problem is that at this point there isn't anything that's better.
no.
But
Now I see your problem. That if the PS3 SSD memory card, original card in there gets filled up or broken, that's it. You need to buy a new PlayStation 5.
yeah, you need to completely that entire motherboard, the entire PlayStation 5 is dead. There is nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Versus the Xbox, in theory, you could if. if the memory card fails, you could grab the memory card from another Xbox. You're probably gonna have to format it multiple times, but it's doable. It's fixable. Like the PS4, the PS5 one requires desoldering and resoldering the fucking memory chips, which
Right.
again are going to degrade over time because these things degrade.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, PS4, PS5, PS4 era is looking really, really bad for Sony, essentially. They're trying to fix it, but it's like you're just making it slightly worse a bit. It's like, yeah, you're solving the issues, but you're slightly making it worse.
I mean, they're not even trying to fix it. They don't really see a problem to fix. They're selling out of consoles. The PS5 has, I believe, to this date, has sold more to date than the PS4 did at this point of its lifespan. Like the console's barely been out 2 years, and it's already sold more than it sold. The PS4 sold
Right.
in 2 years.
Right. But I don't trust those sales numbers because those are skewed numbers because how much of those are just scalper bots buying them and
Yeah, but
versus how many actually are customers using them and playing the PlayStation
yeah, but
5.
Sony doesn't give a shit.
Right, they're making money still. So
Again, they fucking sell out. I mean, I'm looking at the sales number. The fucking PS, as of December 2012, the PS2 sold 155 million copies. The PS3 as of 2017 sold around 87 million. The PS4 sold 113 million as of 2020, 2020.
mhm.
And then as of September 2021, the PS5 has already sold 13 million. That thing is selling like fucking hotcakes. If Sony could make more, they would be selling more.
Right. Yeah, but anyways, do we want to keep on? I need to go to work at some. I have 30 minutes to go to work, so we
No,
are gonna
you
have
have
to finish the episode today, and hopefully the Zencaster won't hate us. But maybe we'll talk more about the other knickknacks and accessories of Sony
no
that we
like
missed out on.
we'll make a second episode later. Be like, okay, more content, motherfucker. We'll make another episode. Just be like, okay, now we're gonna bitch about the PSP and the Vita, and the phone one, and that TV, tiny little TV box.
Yeah, but
And
we'll get to it. But I really need to get
PSX,
going. TSX,
because
my
that's a
god.
thing that nobody remembers.
Anyways, that's been our episode for today. I suppose. Take us out.
What was my outro? I forgot.
I
Do
don't
we
think
have
you
we
had
never
one.
made an outro.
No, you just keep yelling. That's our episode. See you later, motherfuckers. I think that's what you quote every week.
Cool. That seems like good enough. Out. Bye.
All right, bye. Hey everyone, that's the end of the show for today. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook, which we kinda irregularly use whenever we find it necessary to. We're also on Instagram. If you can find the links to those somewhere down below here, or just go to our website at bichinboricuas.com. Thank you.